Hi, we're Calva Louise, and you're watching Forever Loud at Collision Day Fest. Well, we're very honored to be headlining this great event. Honestly, the vibe here is amazing. Everybody's just, really nice. The bands are great. We've watched a couple already and they sound amazing. So we feel, very honored to be playing and,
Very
headlining.
grateful. Such a nice venue. I think it is an extension, yes. Although I think we sometimes are a bit nervous because we do many jobs, like and music-wise, like video and everything, that we're always like, oh, we need to do a gig, we need to prepare, and but it feels really nice.
Yeah, like especially like on Alazon's side, he puts a lot of time into getting the live setup in a way that we can replicate the studio recordings. So I mean, like, you do all sorts of shit. You just
It's a fun challenge, the live versus the recording, because Jess produces, writes and produces the songs, and then, when it comes to the final product, we're like, okay, we need to replicate that live and give it, this live energy, but keeping all the elements of the songs, and that's just always a very, very interesting challenge, and it's a lot of trial and error, but yeah, it's really,
We're getting
really
there.
fascinating.
I actually finished the last one yesterday at 5 a.m. So yeah, it's I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. I think for this latest video, I've been doing like 18 hours a day, and Alison has to deal with my breakdowns.
That's okay. I just make sure the environment's nice.
Yeah, but
Make sure you're fed properly.
It's really cool because I feel like technology right now has allowed like us to be able to shoot. Well, I write the story, directed it, we shoot it together. It's funny, like we've been asked for the credits of the video, and I was like, right, so there's like 2 lines of credit for each of us, and it's really fulfilling, and we always try to get better and better in all the aspects, but to get it with the minimum budget possible, because that's why we started it. So, but I'm excited for the next video to come. I think that's the most accomplished yet. Well, I can tell you something about like Over the Threshold. That's been a thing that for the one that we shot 2 months ago, me and Alison were like, you have to do it yourself to be able to realize the little details that's gonna. Can you swear? Oh yeah, good. It can fuck up the whole shot. For example, on the studio that we were shooting is a friend of ours, and it's an old TV studio, so the green screen doesn't go right to the bottom. So there was a line, and when we shot Over the Threshold, and tracking the camera as well, we just pray that it works, and then after we shoot, I go, through the footage, try to track an example of me, like, yes, it worked, that we have to redo it again. And there was a line, like a black line between the green screen and the floor. And Alison told me for Over the Threshold, are you sure that's gonna be fine in post? And I was
When
like,
we were
yeah,
filming.
I'm pretty sure that's fine, it's just a line. That fucked me so much because I had to rotoscope that stupid line. But like, thanks to the technology, rotoscoping is becoming easier and easier. So that I'm like, it gets new versions every month, every 3 months. There's a new version in After Effects.
There's loads of challenges like that in between the shoot and the post production, because it's kind of thing like you don't know until you confront it to it, and then you know how to deal with it for the next video. But then just still has to spend days fixing stuff like that. So,
even like stuff like motion blur, like if you shoot in green screen, also imagining, because for example on the newest video, I was telling the actors, which are our friends, telling them, imagine you're in a transportation device, and they were like laughing so hard because they were like, what the fuck do you mean a transportation device? And I'm like, just imagine it. And but then I
Yeah.
have it in my head, but you gotta kind of like, with the green screen, it's all imagination. So you have to know in your head exactly how it's gonna look. And the good thing about green screen is that I can take out people really easily, So for example, I've changed stuff in the script, like, nah, that doesn't work, there's no time. Let's just remove one character, and then I just rotoscope like the character off. But yeah, it's good. It's challenging, but fulfilling. I should. And it's funny because Alice, it's good because I feel like we kind of read each other's minds, and I said to Alice, the thing, and then Alice was like, gotcha, the thing.
Yeah,
but,
people around are just like, what are they talking
the fuck
about?
is going? And yeah, like one of the actors, the oldest actor, which is actually Ben's landlord. He's a professional actor and Ben's landlord, so it's pretty cool.
It works out.
It works out. He was like, I just have no clue how you communicate, but if it works. It works. It's just, yeah, one of the biggest challenges we had last time was that the batteries were running out every 10 seconds. So I was getting to the actors saying, and now, go! And then everybody was like, yeah, we have to do it really quick. Yeah, but
we had the wire as well. So like, we had one shot or a few shots actually where we needed an actor like up, like suspended in midair. So like, Alazon had the idea of like using a rock climbing rope and harness. So we,
Yeah, it was. It
like,
was.
yeah.
It was perfectly safe.
The equipment was rated, so it was alright. But like we had to go to the festival, to the studio beforehand and like test it and make sure it was all worked and stuff. But
So
yeah,
expect
that was
some stunts for the next video.
yeah, so that's one of the titles Alison has, stunt coordinator. So that's in the credits. And Ben, we had to buy a green suit, and like Ben was in a green suit the whole day because he had to help the actors when they're floating. We had a leaf blower coordinator as well, which is like one of the actors like, can you please have the leaf blower?
Like, it's literally on set. It's literally just the three of us and the actors who are our friends, and that's it. And just trying to make it work. That's it.
Wow. Because the story is older than the band. So the story started way before Rhinoceros and getting like the comic book and the whole lore goes really far, but it was very abstract. But I would say a lot of the influences. Oh wow! Yeah, there's so many that I can't like.
Okay.
I mean, the original Blade Runner is definitely on. I think it's like
Tron, the new one.
Tron.
No, the old one and the new one. Yeah, Tron is the biggest one.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads in there.
Carpenter Brut was a big influence. Yeah, like Seth Ickerman, like the guys that do Carpenter Brut's videos. That was like, I want that. I want to be able to do. Isaac Asimov is a big influence. Not gonna lie. It's we're kind of like, it's funny. I was looking a lot of the new series Foundations, and I was like analyzing like how is the ships, how they move, how like things like that. But yeah, Isaac Asimov.
Yeah, probably comic book as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
For the aesthetic.
Actually, yeah, that's all it is. Sorry. It's just Easter eggs, and the problem that we've always had is that we couldn't find ways of making it obvious because of money and knowledge and like the wisdom I have to do that, and because we couldn't find anybody really that I feel like a lot of people prioritize the image quality more than the story, and then we've been told so many times like, shut the fuck up, like just do the music and like who cares about your story? And I was like, I care about the story, like we care about the story. So it's even like on there's a comic book, there's that's why I wanted to learn Blender for like Euphoric. That's part of it, and yeah, so it's all of the same story. All of our music has always been the same story. It's just now I think that we're getting a little step forward into getting it more concrete. Yes, because it's kind of like it's always, whenever like I write the songs, like in my mind there's already like a storyline with the titles, like saying it like Over the Threshold. But that's the thing, is because it's hard to get to do that with a team of 3 people. So it's really hard, it's really ambitious. It's really, I know like it sounds like, why would you do that? You're putting yourself like a rock in your shoe, like a rock in the path. Why even, why focusing on that? But I don't know. It's like the story was more important than the music, and it's just kind of like balancing all those aspects until one day we can get everything perfect. Kind of like building a little building, and so getting the foundations. Nobody sees what it means, like how it's gonna look, the final result. But to us, it's more about the journey than the result, and the meaning behind it. I mean, the idea is like little by little get that result more clearer, like for people to see. I don't know if that answers the question.
So actually, Elise was there when it started.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So we met. We both got booked for download this year, which was super exciting. And so we went to London, which is pretty far out for us, but we were invited to go to this.
We've never been to
we've never been to an event like that.
An event, yeah.
Yeah, so we were like, well, let's go. This is cool. And so we didn't know anybody. Just like, well, we're cool, whatever. And the courier was there, and so we met, and we already sort of knew about each other, obviously, but we never met personally.
Yeah.
And so literally we spent the whole rest of the night hanging out, and there's such
partied together.
Yeah, they're amazing people.
And we knew that I knew we had already like same kind of, they're going to the US, and we had kind of the same festivals. We were playing like on the same days, and so I was like,
maybe there's something to do there.
We should do it, like utilize that time in the US. And I mean, we really like playing in right there, and we have visas and everywhere, so we're like, let's just do it, let's just figure it out. Normally when you say stuff like that, people are like, yeah, whatever, but we're like, no, you know what, fuck yeah, let's do it. And so
and it happens.
Extremely important. I think the most important, one of the most important things in the music industry, because without venues like this, bands like ours, we could never do anything. Like we've played, I mean, and even more, I could see our story because we came to England, Ben was already here, but me and Alison came to England. We didn't speak the language, we didn't know anybody. The only way we actually met people going to gigs in venues like this, and then you just meet someone, share a beer with someone, and they're like, oh, you play music, oh, I'll come to the next show, oh, let me hear your music, I'll book you, and things like that, like independent promoters. And like there would be zero way, like absolutely zero way for us to do this in any other way. Like we wouldn't exist. So
yeah, we met you.
Yeah.
We met at like a small venue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like on a small.
A promoter that kind of like believes and puts you in contact, and then and it's kind of like that's how. Oh, same with Elise. Like we met the workshop, Omar, and that's how we met Ben at the Underbelly.
Yeah.
So it was all like kind of in the. How come we could have done this in any other way? Alison learned English by going to places, and I'd be like,
yeah, literally.
I think there's definitely, there feels like a little bit of a barrier between like fresh bands and like the bigger venues, like venues like the smaller ones. It just helps bands get that foot in the door and get, like allow them to cut their teeth on the live scene. And I think that's super important because that's where you learn your craft. Like at the end of the day, it's
with people that love music as well. Yeah. And we played in this place called the Adelphi and Hall, and it's insane seeing the amount of bands that have played there since the 90s, and hearing there were people there that said, I was there with Green. They played to 10 people and they had to sleep in the stage because they couldn't afford a hotel, and things like that, stories like that. It makes you being like, hey, like everything, there's is possibility of getting. You don't have to, go through big thing like being like coached, but like a very pop stardom thing. It's real. You get there. I love venues, and honestly, I feel like in England, like the UK, is the one of the only places that you know that is kind of like such important part of culture. That's why we moved here. So
Yeah, like growing up in France, there wasn't that scene, you know, those
in Venezuela,
small venues.
either
Yeah.
there's venues, but it's not, it's really not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So protect the venues. I feel like we wake up and we have a lot to do for the same cause. It's like we're working on a project like constantly, and it's a lot of work. Like we're never bored. So that's the thing that I love, the fact that we have a lot to do, and that feels like a good way to live. You know, just doing stuff that you love doing.
Yeah, and also like every day is different, like very different. Like, you know, like one day we'll like be in the studio shooting on green screen, then the next day you'll just be like doing accounting, and then the next day you'll be driving to a show, and then the next day you'll be like, I don't know, just recording stuff, or, you know, traveling. It's just, you never know what's gonna happen, you know, in a
Or
month,
like,
2 months, 3 months.
Even like for this music video that's gonna come out, one like the act Johnny, the older gentleman, we needed piercings. Ben made them. He's like, he made the piercings.
The fake piercings.
He was like, oh, I'll just let me whip out here some metal. Let me just, you know, just like, you know, oh, we need to fit the seats for like Over the Threshold and stuff, like the spaceship. Oh, where can we find that? I'll build them. So there's always like something happening that we build. Like they build with their hands, I build in my computer. But there's always kind of like stuff to do, like an itinerary, a schedule, and and it's great because we all live. Alice and me live together. Ben lives 5 minutes away. Then it's practice. Then it's
And today we play a show. Meet fans.
big friends.
Meet friends. Yeah.
When you find